withering glance. "So glad you approve, Miss Hart." "Excuse me, Lady Weatherby," Millie interjected, raising her hand. "Yes, Millie?" "Before we start, would you mind updating us on the curse?" she asked. "We haven't heard anything about the Coven's progress in breaking it since Emma brought back the horn." Recently, the remedial witches had discovered an old parchment that suggested there was a way to break the curse of the enchantress. A unicorn horn seemed to be a necessary ingredient. I'd used one of the spells on the parchment to summon a sacred unicorn and retrieve its horn. Since then, the Coven had been hard at work trying to finish the spell that previous witches had started. "The Coven has its best witches and wizards working on it," Lady Weatherby said vaguely. "Is that like Prince Humperdinck sending his 4 fastest ships?" I queried. The head of the Coven gave me a blank look. Millie groaned. "It's a Princess Bride reference, a human world thing." Lady Weatherby made a dismissive sound. "It can't be the Coven's best witches," Begonia said. "You don't have Laurel working on it, and she was the one who discovered the parchment in the first place." Lady Weatherby hesitated. "With all due respect, witches, this is the remedial class. The name itself suggests that none of you is the best at any form of witchcraft, eager though you may be." Ouch. That had to be the harshest thing Lady Weatherby ever said to us. As the head of the Coven, though, she was well within her rights to decide which members she deemed worthy of this very important project. Since the entire fate of the town rested on it, I didn't blame her for being selective. Millie folded her arms and jutted out her chin. A stubborn look I recognized well by now. "With all due respect to you, Lady Weatherby, that's plain offensive. We have proven ourselves time and time again to this Coven. Just because we don't tick the right academic boxes doesn't mean we aren't competent witches." Everyone gaped at Millie. No one openly defied Lady Weatherby, except maybe her mother, and Agnes was safely stowed away in the Spellbound care home, so opportunities for public humiliation were limited. To her credit, Lady Weatherby showed great restraint in her response to Millie. "While I agree that you have each shown a certain level of competence outside of this classroom, what we require for this particular project is far more than competence. Surely you can understand that." No one argued. The silence seemed to give Lady Weatherby pause. "Upon reflection, I think you make an excellent point, Millie." Her gaze rested on Laurel. "Why don't you join our next meeting, Laurel? I suppose there isn't much harm you can do." Laurel beamed with pride. As the youngest of the remedial witches, Laurel showed great promise. "It would be an honor, Lady Weatherby." Millie sat stony-faced, her hands clasped on the table. She was stewing. I knew it. She intended for all of us to be involved, not just Laurel. Between my engagement and Laurel's selection, we were going to have a hard time boosting Millie's ego this week. Still, it was worth the effort. There was a strong heart beating inside Millie's chest, even though she didn't always show it. I'd glimpsed it often enough to be certain of its existence. "If we're finished with our little detour, let's move on to wards." Lady Weatherby unhooked her cloak and set it on the back of the chair. "Wards can protect our property, or simply an item of value to us. The consequences for breaching a ward may be benign, such as merely alerting the owner to the breach, or it can yield more drastic results, such as mind-numbing pain to the trespasser." My head hurt thinking about it. I wouldn't want to inflict pain like that without good reason. I raised my hand. "What if the breach was accidental? Then you've caused pain to an innocent paranormal." Lady Weatherby looked down her aquiline nose at me. "Then the paranormal will have learned a valuable lesson, will she not?" My throat tightened. Note to self, steer clear of Lady Weatherby's house.